Alex Hormozi taught me one lesson that helped me build $1 million SMMA in my 20s. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what that lesson was, because I truly believe if you understand this lesson, it is going to be so much easier for you to land clients and build a 6 or 7-figure agency. So let's dive into the lesson and the story behind it. So at the time, I was running my agency for about 3 years, and the most money I ever made in a month was like $5,000. Most months were a lot less than that, like a couple thousand. And I was working about 10 to 15 hours every single day in my agency. So if you do the math, I'm pretty much earning less than a minimum wage worker for the hours I was putting in. And at the time, by far, the biggest problem that I was running into was I could not generate consistent meetings and clients. Like, my calendar was drier than the Sahara Desert. And it wasn't due to lack of trying. Like, I was sending thousands of outreach messages. I tried spending money on ads. I thought I was listening to all the gurus, but I could not get any meetings. And if I did get on a meeting with a potential client and I had a sales call, they would always give me the same objection. They told me they worked with an agency in the past, they didn't get results, so they didn't want to move forward with me. And this was super frustrating. And maybe you're going through this process right now where you're starting your agency, you're trying to get clients, but it's not consistent and it feels like you're pushing a rock up a hill. And this by far was the most frustrating part of my SMMA journey. Now, during this time period, I remember I was pretty much depressed, and one day I was on the YouTubes. And while I was on the YouTubes, this is where Hormozi comes in and saves my life. So as I'm on YouTube, I see this thumbnail of this extremely jacked guy that kind of looks like an 80s porn star talking about how he made $100 million. Needless to say, I'm intrigued. So I click on the video, and this is way before Hormozi was famous and popping off and was a giga chad. He did not release any of his books. He had less than 10,000 subscribers, and he didn't have the same camera presence, but I knew this guy was a genius. So as I'm watching the video, he said the offer that he used to get to $100,000 per month with a gym launch initially was he would offer gym owners to fill their gym for free. So what this crazy dude did is he flew out to these gym owners face to face. He would run the ads for the gym owner, cover the cost of the ads, do the sales for the gym owner. Like, he would be in the gym at the front desk doing the sales. And how he got paid is he would keep all the cash collected up front, and the gym owner would keep the customer. So all the monthly recurring revenue the gym owner would get. So this is a truly irresistible offer. Like, it's pay nothing to work with me and I'll fill your gym up for free. And the reason Alex was able to do this is he had 6 gyms previously. So he had an information advantage. He had a unique model and a marketing system to fill up a gym. But this is where the big lesson that Alex taught me that changed my life. So make sure to pay attention. He said, if you can help people make the money to pay for your services in advance, rather than asking them to pay money up front to work with you and maybe get results, you're basically tapping into the universe. You can get as many fucking clients as you want because it's a self-funded offer. And that's how Alex always structures his offers. He tries to figure out how can he structure his offer in a way where people are earning the money to pay for his services in advance. Because if you can do this, you can get clients effortlessly. Now, once I understood this lesson, I was like, okay, this makes sense, because the biggest objection I was running into at the time was businesses would tell me that they don't trust me because they worked with an agency previously who charged thousands of dollars up front and they didn't get results. So I thought, okay, if I can model a similar offer to what Alex did and go to these business owners and say, hey, don't pay me anything up front, only pay me once you start making money, and I could actually pull this off. Like, if I could do this, I knew I could effortlessly get clients. So I decided to build an offer around this, and I'm going to show you what this offer was. But once I made this offer and I made this shift, my agency scaled past $100,000 per month, and I was able to over 20x my income in less than a 12-month period. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop over to my computer and share my screen and show you step by step the offer that I used, the ads and funnel that I put together to be able to get clients effortlessly, and literally the month by month progress of how I was able to launch this offer, get clients and validate it initially, and then be able to aggressively scale it up. So there's going to be a lot of golden nuggets here. And again, if you can grasp and understand what I'm going to share, you are never going to struggle to get clients, and you're going to have more money than you know what to do with. So let's dive into my computer and I'll see you there. All right, welcome back. So like I mentioned, I'm going to break down the exact offer that I came up with once I learned this lesson from Hormozi, the funnels, the ads, and really my month-by-month progress. So you can see how quickly I was able to take off once I understood this principle that Alex taught me. So the offer that I used was, what I came up with is I created a 90-day engagement with my agency where I would work with a business at no cost until I generated my fee, which at the time was $1,500 in sales. So once I made a business $1,500 in sales, that's when I would build them. So again, the business doesn't pay anything out of pocket to get started with me. But once I would make them the first $1,500 in sales that came from my marketing systems and campaigns, that's when they would pay me. And on top of that, I guaranteed they'd make a 10x ROI on my fee from the marketing systems installed in the first 90 days, or I'd give them their money back. So there was no risk whatsoever. They got to get started with paying no money out of pocket. They only paid me once I started making them sales, and they were guaranteed a 10x ROI. Now, here's the thing. I only went after businesses that were already successful. They had to be doing at least $50,000 per month. Most of them were $1 million businesses. And because of that, it's not hard to make them like a 10x on $1,500 is $15,000. That's not a lot of money. It's not hard to do that for a business doing $1 million in sales. But this offer had so little risk that business owners who saw this offer were like, okay, I'm just going to give it a shot because I've never seen an offer like this out there in the marketplace. Every other agency was pay me $5-10 grand up front and maybe get the results. So this allowed me to get my foot in the door. So once I had this offer and I created it, that same day I decided to create a funnel and the ad creative for it. So let me show you what I did, because this is really going to stress the point that you don't need to keep things that fancy. So this was the funnel that I built. And I'm like kind of retarded. So like the fact that I was able to build this funnel is really going to prove the point that you don't need to be that smart. So you can see here, I had a 1-page funnel that had a headline that was like, we'll scale your company's revenue purely on results, guaranteed 10x ROI, pay nothing out of pocket to get started. So it was this crazy, irresistible offer. Then there was like a 5-minute video that I created of me pitching the offer. The audio is terrible in that video, which again stresses the point that it doesn't need to be perfect. You just need a good offer. Then there was a little description of how our process worked and some case studies. Now, at the time, I had like 3 or 4 case studies. I added a lot more as I got more and more clients, but that's all it was. I needed some social proof to back up that I've done this before, because once they see this crazy offer and this crazy claim, the first thing in their mind is, okay, who have you done this for in the past? And then they could hit apply and they'd put in an application and then book in a call with me, right? So that was the funnel. It really wasn't that complicated. You can build this out on Go High Level or ClickFunnels in less than a day. Now, the ad creative that I used, I decided to shoot a video ad. And to show you what I did, I literally took out my iPhone and created a video ad that no editing, nothing, like a 60-second video ad in my room, like nothing. So this is really going to stress the point. So this video ad is going to pop up on the screen and you can watch it, and it's going to show up right now.
Hey, Thisura here, and I'll keep this quick. If you want to scale up your revenue and sales, we guarantee a 10x ROI working with us. So for every $1 you give us, you're guaranteed to make $10 back in return. And want to know the best part? We'll do it purely on results. So there's no upfront fees, there's no useless monthly retainers that lead to no results, none of that. We only get compensated on the additional revenue and sales we bring into your company that you're currently missing out on. So that way you can't lose. Now, if you're skeptical after hearing a big promise like that, which you should be, this is the internet after all, just click on this ad and let me back up everything I just said. You're going to see countless 6, 7, and 8-figure brands who you might recognize who work with us to increase their revenue and sales in their company. And I'm confident if you're the right person, we can do it for you too, and we'll do it purely on results and guarantee a 10x ROI working with us. So if that sounds fair to you, go ahead, click on this ad. It's going to take you to a page with a video that explains things in more detail. And if you like what you see, go ahead, book in a call, and let's talk. Cheers.
So as you can see, that ad was not that complicated. No fancy edits, just me in my bedroom talking about the offer, and the funnel itself was also very easy. So that's what I used. Now, in terms of the results, let me actually break down what happened once I had this offer and the funnel and the ads built out. So I decided to launch the ads the next day. And the moment I launched the ads and the funnel and had this offer, I immediately started getting meetings and clients. So let me break this down. This is super exciting. Like when I talk about this, I'm like reliving what happened. So in month number 1, I spent $3,153. And that was a lot of money for me at the time. But again, I was like, what do I have to fucking lose? Like, I'm at least going to give this a shot. I'm just going to see what happens. So I was spending about $100 a day. Now from that, I generated 13 meetings and I got 4 clients from there. So my cost per acquisition was $788. Now from those 4 clients, every single one of those 4 clients, I was able to generate them those $1,500. And because of that, I made $6,000 in sales. So I basically got a return on ad spend of almost 2x, 1.9x. So I was doubling my money. I proved the concept. Like this was just a concept for me of like, okay, what if I could go into a business and self-fund my offer, make them my fee in advance. And once I make them my fee, fee, that's when they pay me. And to my surprise, I was able to easily do this for my clients, and I was able to double my money on my ad spend. And one tip here too, what I would do when I would sign up a client, I would make them give me a $1 down payment, so I would have their credit card on file on Stripe. So then the moment I would make them $1,500 in sales that was trackable and attributable to me, I would just directly charge their credit card, and it made the process seamless and easy. So that was the process. In month number 1, I doubled my money, and I was like, holy shit, this is the first time in my life I'm having meetings coming to me, and I landed 4 clients. That was the most I got in a month, right? And I made $6,000 off of that. Now, again, this isn't a ton of money because I was only charging $1,500 for this 90-day engagement, but it allowed me to prove the concept, and it allowed me to know that I can generate demand easily. Then in month number 2, I want to see, was this a fluke or can I validate this further? So what I decided to do, what I noticed in month number 1 when I had some of these 4 clients is I realized some of those clients, like if it was, let's say, an e-commerce brand making $1 million in revenue, I could make them a lot more than $1,500. I could send one email out to their list and make them like 5 or 10 grand if they weren't emailing their list. Like there was just so much low-hanging fruit and opportunity for these business owners. So what I decided to do in month number 2 is increase my prices depending on the client. It would be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 depending on how much revenue I thought I could make them right away. So again, it would be an engagement where, let's say it was $5,000 for a client. I would say, hey, it's no cost for you to start. Once I make you the first $5,000 in sales, that's when you pay me. And if I don't at least 10x that, so $50,000 over the course of 90 days, I'll give you your money back. And it was very easy for me to do this for a business owner doing millions of dollars in revenue, especially like an e-commerce brand, because I just send out an email to their list and like launch one additional ad campaign, and they're making money pretty easily. So in month number 2, I spend $1,200. I generate 10 meetings. I close 2 clients. So my cost per acquisition is $639. And the revenue I made was $11,597 because I signed up 2 $5,000 clients, and one of those clients I had a 5% royalty on additional sales over a baseline that came in. So I made a 9x return on 9x ROAS on this $1,200. I'm printing cash. I spent $1,200. I made back close to 12 grand in sales from this concept, and I started gaining this advantage where I knew I could go into a business, they don't even need to pay me any money out of pocket, and I could just write an email to their list or relaunch another ad campaign really easily and make them my fee immediately, collect the cash, and be able to scale the ads. Like if you understand what I'm going through right now, like you should get the wheels turning of just what you can do here. And this was a huge advantage that I had because I was like no other agency they've seen before. All other agencies pay me 5-10 grand up front and maybe get the result, but I'm like the opposite. Work with me, I'll generate you my fee. And I knew I could do this because if it was a big company, there's so much low-hanging fruit that I could easily pluck for them. Then in month number 3, I thought, okay, let me run this for one more month. If I can validate this for 90 days, I know I have a hot offer that I can start scaling. So I spent $2,200 in month number 3. I got 14 meetings. I generated 3 clients, so my cost per acquisition was $753, and I made $9,400. So my return on ad spend was 4.1x. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, I got this. I have a hot offer, and I knew I could scale this because I'm printing money. I'm getting a 9, 4, 5x return on ad spend at the time. I never had this happen to me before. So now I knew the only thing I need to do to start ramping this up further is I need more sales reps and I need help with fulfillment. And I just need to be able to take on more clients because I had this engine that could get me meetings and demand for my offer at will. And I knew I had the fulfillment system to actually generate results and make my feedback very quickly. So fast forward by September, so I launched this, like this was in the early of the year, like January of 2022. By September, I was doing over $100,000 per month. Here's my Stripe account, scale with less. You can see it's from September 1st to 30th, I scaled it well past $100,000 per month in sales. So the outcome from this is I essentially 20x'd my income in less than 12 months. I went from $5K a month at my peak, my highest month where I struggled to get meetings and clients, to making over $100K per month, all because I learned how to create offers that were self-funded. Instead of like every other agency that gets them to pay up front, I had a way where I could go to a business owner and say, don't pay anything out of pocket. Once I make you my fee, that's when you pay me. And that allowed me to flip agencies on its head. Like I had this unique advantage, just like what Hormozi said. He said, if you can help people make money in advance to get your results and make money to actually pay you, instead of paying up front, like you have an advantage. That's what he did. And I took it to heart and I implemented it and I 20x'd my income, right? So this is what can happen when you have the right offer and you understand this lesson. So here's the big lesson I want you to take. Like if you get this and you understand this and you get good enough to pull it off, like this is what you need to optimize for. So ask yourself, how can you structure your offer in a way where your clients make the money to pay for your services in advance rather than asking them to pay for your services and then maybe getting the result? Businesses are more skeptical than ever right now. So where I see the future of agencies going is they're only going to trust people who actually have the track record and have the skill set and ability to get them results in advance, or else it's going to be very hard for you to get clients. And if you can optimize for this and actually make this happen, it's going to be very easy for you to get clients and scale past 6 or 7 figures. Like I just showed you proof of it right now of how quickly things can change. And if this seems hard, or that this is going to take you a lot of time to learn the skill set, this is the price of admission. Like this is what's required if you want to build a 6 or 7 figure agency. Like you have to get good at the craft. Like for me, I spent years learning marketing and working for free with brands to develop my skill set. Like I said, I had my agency for 3 years before this. And it wasn't until I learned this concept, I had the right funnel and offer, that everything took off and I was able to really ramp things up. But I had the time to actually develop my skill set. If you look at Alex, he built 6 of his gyms beforehand before he built Gym Launch, and he was able to capitalize on that opportunity. Now, the good news for you is I'm going to provide you with a free resource here that's going to show you how to actually deliver these results so you can compress this. Like you can have the skill sets to do this very quickly, but I really want to get across the point that like this is the price of admission. This is what you have to learn if you want to learn how to get clients effortlessly. Like once I knew, like, okay, I could go to like pretty much any business. They don't even need to pay me up front. I'm just going to generate them sales in advance. And once they see the proof of that, it was very easy for me to land clients, because cash flow for businesses is like oxygen. If you can prove that you can generate them more cash flow and sales and for less than what you're charging them, you're never going to struggle to get clients. And when I understood that concept, it was easy. It was game over. So the next steps from here, if you want a step-by-step guide on how to create $1 million SMMA offer and have the skill sets to be able to deliver those results and do what I talked about, watch my free offer creation course that's going to pop up on the screen right now. It's about an hour-long training where I break down step-by-step how to create an offer like this. And I also provide you the tools and trainings to be able to get very good results for your clients. So you can go in and, if you want, create an offer like this where it's self-funded. You have the skill sets and the confidence to be able to drive results for your clients. I give you resources to help you do that. And I break down my entire fulfillment process in that course and structure. So make sure to go through that. It's going to pop up. Watch that. So hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.